Ladies and gents, welcome to this video. Today, I want to break down one of my favorite tools for scaling agencies. Okay, this tool has allowed me to make well over $1 million in lifetime value from clients I've signed directly through it. It's called Perspective, and it allows you to build funnels. Okay, it's a funnel building tool. So think ClickFunnels, GHL, and I have used it. My clients have used it to make some beautiful and extremely effective funnels. So if you're interested in running paid ads or just signing more clients in general from whatever client acquisition method you've got going on, you need to have a really good funnel. So you don't know what a funnel is, it's essentially kind of like a website, but different. It's got a really specific focus, okay? So websites, typically, they've got different navigation, they've got headers, footers, lots of stuff going on. A funnel has a really specific focus, and it's just trying to take the user or the viewer to take one specific action, okay? And so that's gonna maximize your conversion rates rather than a website which might be allowing multiple different actions in it. So I'm going to break down exactly how I build funnels in this tool, how it works, what the features are, and why I think it's so good. Now, if you don't know why you should listen to me, my name is George Clements. I scaled my agency, Penthouse Media, to 1.5 million in revenue last year, and we're doing about 2 million a year right now. So jumping into the tool here, this is kind of the homepage. You've got your different workspaces. So I have a workspace for my agency and I have a workspace for my consulting company. And you can really just create a bunch of different funnels here. There's different plans, which I'll jump into in a second. Off the offset, you've got your funnels here. You've got performance metrics here. So these are some of my performance metrics for my funnels, which is cool. Right now I have 2 funnels active for my consulting company. I have a ads funnel and then I have a kind of a lead magnet funnel, which I'm not pushing quite as much at the moment. We then have an inbox, which is really cool. I don't personally use this right now, but you can integrate your WhatsApp business account, your Facebook business page. And really what Perspective does so well is it's not just a funnel builder, but it's also integrating a lot of CRM features, okay? Because obviously if someone opts into your funnel or takes an action on your funnel, like giving you their contact details, it makes sense that you would store and use that data inside of the same platform that you built the funnel in, right? So I'm gonna click new funnel here. And one of the things I like about this tool so much is that it just gives you a bunch of really good templates straight out the gate. You've got appointment funnels, VSL demo funnels, recruiting funnels, lead magnet funnels, low ticket offer funnels. You've got a lot of different stuff, webinar funnels, based on whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you're an agency owner like me, the funnel that I recommend you always start with and all my clients start with is a simple VSL funnel. And this is very simple. You're trying to get viewers of the funnel to watch your VSL, your video sales letter, which is going to kind of sell them on booking a call. And then they're going to click the button, book a call, they're going to book a time, and then they're going to get on a sales call with you, and that's where you close them, okay? Super simple funnel. So I'm going to click on use template here. It's quite cool. You can really personalize the template with AI. So if you tell Perspective what your niche is, what you do, what your offer is, it's going to allow you to, it's going to personalize the template for you. You've also got these brand profiles here. So different fonts and colors and stuff like that will just automatically get pulled in. So I'm just going to use this brand profile I've got here. So I'm going to jump in and just select use template because I want to build this with you guys, not jump into too much personalization here. And here we go. We have the funnel in place here, which is super cool. You have in the bottom right, obviously the ability to go mobile or desktop. Now, Perspective will always start with mobile. It's kind of mobile first, which is great because if you've ever run any paid ads before, you'll know that pretty much 80% plus of your traffic these days is going to be coming from mobile. That's why it's really important to kind of build your funnel with mobile first in mind, because that's really who you're going to be catering to. So if we scroll down here, you've got your headline. So how we got agency clients worth 1.5 mil, your subheading, obviously the VSL, you've got your main call to action here, and then that is going to, I believe, scroll down and then get you to book a call in here, and then you put your name and your email in, so it's kind of like an opt-in, you submit and you choose the date. I believe that's going to take you then to the next page where you actually will book a call. Now, I'm going to make a lot of changes to this template, no offense to the Perspective team, but I think we can do a little bit better than this in terms of how the conversion pathway is going to be. So let's jump into it, and I'm going to show you guys how I would build a really impactful VSL funnel. First things first, we're going to start with the headline, right? Really, the headline, you want to do a couple of things. You want to obviously include the audience in the headline. Okay, so it's kind of similar to like an ad. When I'm scripting and creating ads for agency owners, I follow something called the ABC framework, which is audience, benefit, curiosity. And that is always things that I can include in the hook. And the reason we do this is because we want to include the audience in the hook to make sure that we're pulling the right audience in and repelling the wrong audience away. We want to do the exact same thing with the headline. Obviously, we want to have a benefit. So are we making them more money or are we saving them more time? Because those are the 2 things business owners pretty much care about. And then number 3 is curiosity. So, why should they stay on this page? Why should they keep watching? So obviously this headline's pretty good. You're talking about agency owners, number 1, so that's the audience. You're talking about how you made them 1.5 million with 15K in ad spend, and then the curiosity as well, how we did it, right? Starting here. And then obviously the VSL is really what kind of explains the headline, okay? So that you want the headline to tee up the VSL. So I might say, we will add 100K MRR to your ecom brand. I'll say monthly revenue to your ecom brand with our $50 million plus Google Ads system, or you don't pay. All right, now this is a bit long. I'm going to be honest with you. I typically like slightly shorter headlines than this, but this is just something that I've come up with on the spot, right? You get the point. We'll add 100K monthly revenue. That's the benefit to your ecom brand. That's the audience. With our $50 million Google Ads system, that's kind of the curiosity, or you don't pay. That's also very much curiosity because that's obviously like the guarantee. So it doesn't have to be in order, but you want to make sure you just include those three things in your headline. And then typically in the subheading, I like to keep this simple and really just use the subheading to kind of illustrate what this is going to allow them to not have to do. Okay, so there's desired outcome, which is the 100K a month revenue. And then there's also things that your offer can take them away from. So for example, so you don't have to be over reliant on Meta ads or organic influencers. Something like that, okay? So without, or so you don't have to, okay? And that's just a really nice role that the subheading plays in my funnels. Then we obviously have the VSL itself. I'm not gonna jump into VSL in this video, but I have a really good other video on this channel about how to make a VSL based on my experience creating a $1.5 million VSL. So after you've watched this video, go and watch that one if you want help on how to craft a VSL. So for now, I'm just gonna leave this one in here. Then obviously we have the CTA, okay? Now, cool feature that you can use with Perspective is that you've got this kind of animation thing here, which is good, and you can obviously go full width as well. I know this sounds really stupid, but pretty much typically what I've seen in my tests with funnels is the bigger and the more obvious that you make the button, the higher the CTR you get. I'm not kidding. So I typically like to make my buttons more of a primary color, like a blue, and I like to make them pretty big and pretty obvious as well. Now, quick orientation as well before I go any further, just so you know how to kind of get around this funnel. You've obviously got your pages here, okay? So we're on the first page, which is the landing page. And then if we wanted to move forward to the next page in the funnel, we can do that. We can add pages. And then we really have our sort of thank you page here as well in the results section. Once we've obviously gotten a prospect to book a call, it's really important that we have a thank you page. We then have metrics for this funnel, which obviously we haven't published it, so we're not going to see anything. And then we also have contacts as well. So again, as I explained, Perspective has these cool sort of CRM features where as you pull contacts in, they're going to get stored in here, which I find super useful. And then you've also got integrations as well. So you can pretty easily integrate Meta, so your Meta Pixel, your Google Tag Manager, even GHL and stuff like that. So it's got pretty sick features here too. And then finally, one thing that I actually really like and use myself a lot is it has integrated ESP. So it's got an integrated email sending platform, which is cool because you don't have to duct tape tools together. You don't have to go and duct tape, your kit, ConvertKit, or your Beehive, or your whatever platform you use to send emails to this. Although you can do that very easily through Zapier, but you can also send a native email here. So for example, you always want to send an email sequence once someone books a call with you. And so I actually like to host this in here just because it's seamless and it involves less steps and less automation, which is optimal. That's a super cool feature there too. Back to the funnel. We've got the headline, we've got the subheading, we've got the VSL, we've got the book a call button. That's great. I'm gonna get rid of this. And I'm also gonna get rid of this, which is just a column. So it just looks super simple. I also don't like to have a header in my funnels. It's a small thing, but the reason I don't like to have it is because we really want a button to be viewable above the fold on mobile. So what that means is you want the button to be viewable before you scroll. And so if you have a big chunky header, typically it's going to make the button go below the fold, and that's just not optimal. You want it to be above the fold so that people can take action without even having to scroll, because most people just land on the funnel, don't even scroll, and then click off. So we want to make sure we're capturing as many of those people into our flow as possible. So book a demo call now, that's fantastic. So what I like to do next is really just make this funnel super simple, okay? Again, massive difference that you want to remember between a funnel builder and a website is that we want to have really an MVP with a funnel, which means minimal viable product. The more stuff you add to your funnel, the more opportunity you have to distract the people that come to the funnel. So a big mistake I see with agency owners is they've got really long funnels. They've got testimonials, YouTube videos, loads of different sections, endless Trustpilot scrolls, and all of that's good, but really what are we trying to optimize for? Well, we're really trying to optimize for people to watch the damn VSL. Otherwise, why the hell did we make a VSL in the first place, right? We want them to watch the VSL, get sold by the VSL, and take action. And unfortunately, the longer that you make the VSL, the more time people are going to waste scrolling rather than watching it. So I actually see shorter funnels winning in 2026 right now. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I'm pretty much just going to go ahead and click the button here. So by the way, when it comes to building the funnel, you can see that you've got these kind of layers here. So you've got overall layouts, you've then obviously got text elements, you've got video elements, and you've got button elements, okay? So you can click here and you can actually add preset built layouts. That's fantastic. But for us, I'm actually just gonna go straight to a basic block. Okay, and you've got a bunch here. You've got text, buttons, images, lists, dividers. Okay, lists are great because you can obviously add, 4 reasons to get started now or whatever. I quite like using that in funnels. Reviews as well, I think look quite good. Just a good trust building asset. You've got countdowns I quite like. And obviously what we're going to do here is we're actually going to use HTML, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to embed my Typeform. Now, Perspective does have a inbuilt quiz feature, which is really good. However, I'm going to be totally honest, I still personally use Typeform in all of my funnels. So I just like to embed the Typeform here in the HTML element. But as I said, you can use Perspective's native inbuilt quiz function, so you wouldn't even have to use Typeform if you didn't want to. But for me, I just use Typeform right now. So I'm going to put that there. Then I'm going to basically select this, book a demo call now. In fact, I might change that language. Book a call. I'll just say book a call. And then I'm going to get this to scroll. So if you click on the button, you can customize what it is that you want to do. So I'm going to click scroll and I'm going to click embed because this is an embed element here. Okay, so this button's now scrolling down there, okay? Cool, so I've just grabbed my Typeform code, so I'm just gonna paste it in here, and then that's gonna pull in straight away, which is awesome. The nice thing about this is also in an ideal world, we're gonna be able to, I'm gonna just come down here and actually reduce the padding. We're also potentially gonna be able to see even the form above the fold as well, which is great because then viewers will just know what's up. I think especially on mobile, you can definitely see the form chilling there, which is great. Because again, the whole point of this funnel is we want them to fill in the qualification form. And again, if you don't even know what a qualification form is, you have a lot of catching up to do on this channel. If you're trying to run a funnel without some kind of qualification, you are seriously missing out because you're taking in any single prospect rather than rejecting the unqualified ones. You're wasting time talking to tire kickers, like don't even get me started. If you don't know about that, go and watch the first video on the channel. It basically breaks down the whole funnel system that I use to scale agencies to 100K a month. I digress. We have the qualification form here. The next thing is, okay, do we want this section? Obviously not, because to get to the call, they actually have to fill in the type form. So we're gonna get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. So I like the text testimonials, that's cool. Really what else the only other thing that I would really add, to be honest with you, and I know this sounds crazy, but as I said, simple scales, all right? All I would add is headline, subheading, VSL, book a call, form, proof, so case studies, such as video testimonials typically being the best, but also obviously you can have text as well, and then probably FAQs as well. That is the only thing I would add. So I'm just gonna click text for now, like so, and this is a medium element. I'm just gonna do a kind of customer testimonial quote like this. George helped me scale my agency to 100K a month. Sounds very egotistical of me, but let's just use that example for now. And then what we want to do is click plus again, come down here, add in a video, and I might also click down here, let's select text again, and this is gonna be the subheading. Let's just introduce this person. So for example, founder of XYZ company. And this is basically what I'm going to use for a testimonial. It might be a vertical testimonial. It might be, let's say it's a vertical testimonial. Someone's filmed it on the phone, right? And then really what I'm going to do actually is contain this in a layout. This is a little bit botched, but I'm just going to drag it into here within this layout here because it's just going to allow me to duplicate it a bit quicker. Probably should have done this to start with, my bad, but let me just get rid of this. And then drag this into the layout here and drag this into the layout here as well. And then this is also going to allow me to just click this column thing, which is nice. It's just going to make it a little bit more compressed, okay? And then we have a full kind of testimonial structure layout. I'm just going to obviously decrease the padding as well to make it a little bit more compressed. And then really what I would do is I would probably just duplicate this a few times, add in a few testimonials. You can also do it in columns as well. It doesn't have to be one at a time. You can very easily create columns as well. So if I wanted to do that, for example, I would just come down here and I would select like a 2-column structure like this. And I would just come down here, drag this down here. You see what I mean? It's very much drag and drop. Let me just actually add in a video here because this is like a background drop. But yeah, it's extremely easy to use. Like you don't need any kind of experience. It's not like Framer or Webflow or anything like this. It's just very, very simple. So you can really just customize exactly what you want. So let's say we want testimonials in 2 columns rather than 1. I would go ahead and add a couple of video testimonials in like this. Okay, let's say it's horizontal, which makes it look a little bit nicer. Let's duplicate the subheading like this. And then let's get rid of these and get rid of this. Cool, brilliant. And so I might want to duplicate this layout a couple times, as I said, have a couple testimonials here, okay, to just support what it is that I'm saying. Now, again, don't need to go crazy on the testimonials. Again, that's another thing I see. I know the whole like idea of this infinite scroll of case studies and proof kind of was popularized by some of the info people in the space. But the problem with that is that, you know, when you have so many testimonials, what happens is no one watches any of them because they're overwhelmed, right? So probably 4 video testimonials here is good. Wouldn't go more than that so that we actually get some consumption on these video testimonials. And obviously you might want to host them in, you know, a tool like Wistia to get some data on who's actually watching these. And then we can move up these text testimonials as well to kind of sit underneath it. Another thing you want to do is make sure that you do have frequent buttons throughout the page. The more buttons, the more clicks you're going to get. Very simple. So we want to make sure we've got a lot of those around the place. So we've got one here below the videos, might have one below the text testimonials as well. Okay, like so. And then, as I said, really the last thing that I'm going to include here is some FAQs. So I'm going to click on this. Let me just move this down and I'm going to click on basic box. So FAQ. And FAQs actually get a lot of consumption. If you use a tool like Microsoft Clarity to track heat mapping and how people interact with your landing page, which I strongly recommend if you are building a funnel, then you basically want to use FAQs because FAQs, like some people don't want to watch a VSL. Like they just do not want to watch a VSL. They're on the train, in the car, whatever. So what they might do is they will skip the video. They'll see the testimonials, cool, all right, this guy can do his stuff. And then they want to read the FAQs. So obviously you're going to put in FAQs here. The way to come up with FAQs is really simple. Just download a bunch of your sales call transcripts from your meeting note taker tool like Fireflies or Fathom. Throw them into ChatGPT and basically just ask what questions and objections do people have. Grab all of those, throw them in here. The whole idea of what we're doing on this landing page is pre-handling objections and getting the prospect as pre-sold as possible, so that in a dream world, we get people booking sales calls who are just ready to hand you money. That is the goal. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, obviously this is a disgusting looking funnel because I built it in 3 seconds, but you can make Perspective look really, really beautiful if you put the time and the effort into it. I am not a designer. Honestly, there's a lot of arguments to be made about ugly funnels actually beating super beautiful premium funnels because they're just so damn simple. But there's a lot of cool features that you can do to make things look pretty. So you can come into your layouts and you can come in here and you can do gradients, which make things look a lot cooler. You can obviously make things look really nice, which is cool. Certainly a lot better than some of the other funnel builder tools out there, okay? And it also comes pre-built with a lot of legal stuff and copyright stuff and stuff like that. You've also got your terms of use, privacy policy, things that you actually do need on your funnel to make sure that you don't get absolutely whacked by Facebook in any situations. So that's important to have there. So once you're done with the initial funnel, you would obviously move to the next page. Now for us, the way that I build my funnels is I actually embed my calendar in my form building software like this. So then you obviously want to move on to the next page in your funnel. Now, we actually embed the calendar into our form building software because that reduces drop-off rates, okay? But if you wanted to come in here and have a specific book a call page, so for example, when someone actually goes through your form or your qualification process and is qualified, as I said, I actually host my Calendly embed within my Typeform just to minimize drop-off, but you could then obviously redirect them to a specific page like this where they actually book a call. And again, you can use Perspective's native calendar tool for this, or you can use a Calendly embed like a lot of people. It really is up to you, or a GHL calendar embed, depending on what you use. But as I said, I won't actually be using that because I literally embed Calendly within Typeform because it just minimizes the chance of drop off, right? If you do redirect to a different page, you are allowing for a small percentage chance that someone will get a slow loading time or they'll get distracted and they'll click off, rather than literally making it mandatory for them to fulfill in the Calendly to actually even book through. Now, finally, we really just have a thank you page, okay? This is how simple this funnel that I leverage for me, my agency, and my clients is. And again, here, what you would basically want to do is create super simple thank you page. So it's really this. This is kind of how I structure my thank you pages. So we want to let them know, and again, I'm going to actually go through after I finish filming and actually make this a little bit prettier, but I'm just trying to illustrate some points here. So we really want to kind of illustrate the fact that the call is not yet booked, okay? Almost done. Watch the video below to confirm your call event. And this is going to be a short 2 to 3 minute thank you page video, which is basically going to walk them through, hey, thank you for booking your call in. Look, make sure that you take this call in a quiet place, on a laptop, not driving in a car. Make sure that you confirm the meeting on Google Calendar. Otherwise, we'll have to give your slot to someone else, okay? And this goes into sort of double booking calendar slots, which is a whole different strategy that I'll talk about in another video to maximize calendar availability. Also, you should explain that down below, you've got specific breakout videos which cover specific questions they may have before the call. And so then you want to have these sort of mini FAQ videos down here with text blocks like this, which are really going to answer specific questions, again, that you may have covered in your text-based FAQs, but you want to answer them in a video format here to, again, just build more trust and get the audience and the prospect here more familiar with you as a founder. So for example, what's the cost? Okay, if you book a call with me, you'll see a similar structure on my thank you page, just on my regular advertisingco.com funnel. It's just super important to include in your funnel so that people basically have answers to their questions before the call. What's the cost? That's obviously a common one. Is there a guarantee, right? You might also have how long will it take to see results? Like all of these kinds of common things, okay? And then how do I know it will work for me? And you'll actually get some pretty decent engagement on this, okay? And then also the bit I haven't mentioned is obviously the CTA here. We want to get them to confirm the meeting on Google Calendar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link this literally to gmail.com, and that will basically pull them into their email inbox, because obviously once they've booked a call, they should be getting an invite from Google Calendar to basically confirm the meeting. And we find that people who confirm Google Calendar events are far more likely to show up. Okay, cool. So I just messed around with it a little more. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not perfect, but this is pretty much a pretty good skeleton of the funnel that I would build to scale my agency, especially if it is my first funnel that I'm driving paid traffic to. We've got a strong headline, a much better subheading. We're going to have a VSL. Again, if you want to know how to do that, watch my other video on this channel. Book a call. I've got an example template here, which kind of, or a type form here, which sort of fits the theme. We've got some video testimonials. I actually scrapped the text testimonials because I really just want people to watch the videos. They're going to build the most trust. All of these book a call buttons scroll back up to the type form so we can get the maximum amount of applications. And then we've got a simple FAQ page here. Once they book a call through the type form, they're going to get redirected to this page. There's going to be a 2-3 minute thank you video. All of these buttons go to their Gmail so they can accept their calendar event. We've got simple breakout FAQ videos to nurture them even more. And then I even included a pretty good first email template for you to send once someone actually hits the confirmation page. So you can obviously mess around with the triggers to get that live. So this is, as I said, what I would really recommend that you kind of start with. Super simple. The more you add, the more complexity there is. So you really want to strip it back and start simple. I'm going to leave the template for this funnel in the description. So if you just want to go ahead and copy this template into your own Perspective account and start messing with it, you can absolutely do that. If you want my personal help scaling your agency with paid ads and funnels, you can click probably the second link in the description, I guess, to this time to book a one-on-one call with me, and I will help you scale your agency to 100 or 200K a month plus. If not, keep watching the videos and stick around. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.